Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Coach Raheen with a new show for you. Today's show, I actually invited a guest because I want to share some information with high school students about college. What I want to do is to give you all some information that will help you make the best out of college. We want college to be a fruitful experience for you. So I'm going to allow my guest to introduce herself.
Hey guys, I'm Kendra Moss. I go to St. John's University. It's a great school, but I just want to let you guys know some things that I feel like I wish I would have known going into college in general.
Okay, fantastic. So from my understanding, you have 11 things that you believe will help high school students. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so share with us. What's the first thing that you want to talk to us about?
So the very first thing, it may seem like a basic rule, but it's research, and you want to just research and make sure that the schools that you're looking at have the programs and your major and clubs and stuff like that you're interested in. Also, the location that it's in and the nearby opportunities or activities are just as important.
Okay. So you want them to do some research. Make sure that they know the school that they're going to so that when they get there, they're not surprised at what the school offers or does not offer. Is that correct?
Right, yes.
Fantastic. Tell us about your second thing.
My second thing is that AP or IB exam scores are really important, and they don't directly affect your high school grade as much, so you might not be worried about it. But in college, it might save you from taking an extra class that everyone has to take that you might not take because your exam score was really good. So you can go into college with credits already that you have because you've gotten a good score in high school.
Oh, so in other words, it sounds like they're getting some of the work done early, and it also helps bring down the cost of college, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because you're taking it in high school, and once you get to college, you have less courses to take.
Right.
That's fantastic. Go on to your number three.
So my third one is try taking your core classes before your actual major classes that go into your major, because eventually you might want to change your major and you don't want to have taken all these classes that don't even transfer over to the major that you're switching over to. So usually you're supposed to declare a major by the end of your sophomore year. So you have time to take those core classes your freshman and sophomore year.
Wow, so you're saying take all of your core classes up front, and then on the back end, you still have a little bit of time to decide what your major is if you decide to change it?
Right.
Wow, that's interesting. Is that what you're doing?
I wish I would have done that because because going into college, I was sure that I wanted to be a communications major.
Okay.
But then after taking some communications classes, I realized I'm not as interested in it as I thought I would be.
Wow.
So I was thinking about switching it over to journalism.
Okay.
But the journalism requirements are completely different from the communication requirements. So if I do that, only 6 of my credits would transfer over. Okay. So that's a tough decision that I'm struggling with right now.
Wow. That's good information. What's your fourth thing?
My fourth thing is to definitely save money because you spend money very quickly being in college, and even if you think you won't, you will, because you're not thinking about the times you're going out with your friends or getting something to eat off campus because you think, oh, I have everything I need right here on campus, but you're always going to spend a lot of money. So try saving money during the summer so that you have for college.
Wow. Is there any amount that you suggest that they need to have?
As much as you can save.
As much as you Okay. What do you think about working while going to school?
I actually do work study, so I work on campus at my school, and I think it's a great opportunity if you can get work study because you learn about things while being on campus. Also, some work study jobs allow you to do homework or study while at work. But also, if you have enough time, I think you should work while you're in school.
That's fantastic. Okay, so what's your next thing?
My next thing is that being involved doesn't end in high school. It becomes even more important when you're in college because you can put those things on your resume and show future employers how involved you are on your campus. So Yeah, it's also a good way to network and meet peers that you're going to be with for the next 4 or 5 or 6 years.
Okay, so this is like your fifth thing you saying, to network, get to know people on campus.
Yes.
Okay, like the power of networking and collaborating with others.
Right, join clubs, and even though you're a part of those clubs, try to be a part of those like PR teams that like promote the club.
That's fantastic. That's good. I can see how something like that might help you long range, especially after you graduate and you're trying to find people that have leads to jobs and things.
Right, because it shows leadership. Because if you can say, oh, I was a team manager for the dance team, or I was the president or a captain, it shows a lot of leadership that you have that employers are looking for.
All right, that's fantastic. So what's number 6? What's your 6th thing?
My 6th thing is that everyone is different. And of course you know this going into school, but you don't think of it as much as it really is. Like, everyone really is different. Everyone's coming from different backgrounds, different countries, religions. Yeah. And you think you might struggle to find somebody that you can relate to, but it's actually easy to find people that you can relate to.
Wow. What are some of the different nationalities that you've encountered at your school?
At my school, I've encountered like a lot of different Asian people that I've never, because the high school that I went to was it was diverse, but it wasn't super diverse. And then, so going into a diverse college, it wasn't like a super shock as much as I thought it would be, because my high school was pretty diverse. Okay. It was just a lot more people. So
gotcha.
That was one thing I noticed.
Gotcha. That's great. What's your next? What's number 7?
My next one is that everyone is an adult in college, and that's one thing that I definitely like realized by being in college, because being fresh out of high school, you still have that mindset where you're very young and you're like a teenager, which you still are, but not everyone views you that way, because everyone in college is basically an adult. So, and everyone's there for the same reasons, which is education and success. Okay. So you might struggle with your transition from like teenager to young adult.
Wow. So what are some of the things that you see the average teenager who is trying to make that transition struggle with in college?
Maybe a lot of like poor decision making.
Oh, gotcha. Mm-hmm. Like going to class on time.
Right. Yeah, like missing class or going out instead of studying. Okay. Like, that's something that everyone challenges, because of course you always want to go out with your friends. Yeah. But you always got to have like a strong head and just know that you're there for a specific reason, which is to be successful in life. And also you don't want to waste money by failing a class and then having to stay later because of that class that you failed because you want to go out. So that's a biggie right there. You know, if you fail a class and you got to pay for that class all over again, right? Yes. It's no good. Okay. All right, so what's number 8? What's your 8th thing? Number 8 is basically kind of like number 7, which is that no teacher, advisor, or faculty member is going to hold your hand. So they also treat you like an adult and talk to you like one. So if you live on campus, you kind of get a better sense of what it is to be in like the real adult world. Okay. If you don't already know already. So also if you live off campus too, you kind of get that sense of adulting.
So it sounds to me like you're saying it would be helpful for a high school student to realize that when they get to college, all of the things that high school teachers and high school administrators and counselors do in terms of holding your hand and making sure that you know everything when you get to college is basically up to you.
Yes, correct. Because at St. John's, they have this thing where they have freshman advisors, and they make sure that you meet with them every so often. So they'll send you emails and things like that to make an appointment with them. And they kind of hold your hand. They kind of ease your transition. Okay. But after like your second semester freshman year, or like when sophomore year begins, you're really on your own. So you have to make your own appointments to see your advisor, and then your advisors have so many other students that they're looking over, so they can't really cater only to you.
That's right. It's like thousands of students in college versus not that many in high school. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Gotcha. All right. What's number 10?
We skipped number 9.
Okay, number 9. Okay.
Number 9 is that college is not for everyone.
Okay.
So, you always hear this a lot, and you think like, oh, well, it's for me, so I'm ready to go. Like, I'm definitely gonna go. And that's how I thought. I thought the same way. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be great in college. Like, it's for me. But every student at some point has like their doubt about college.
Okay.
And I'm not talking about like the occasional I'm gonna drop out or whatever. But like, you do think like this. There's people that have been very successful without college. But I always think that you should weigh the pros and the cons before making a decision.
Gotcha.
Because at the end, the decision is up to you. But just make sure you're making the right decision before you actually choose.
All right. And we're up to number 10 now?
Yes.
All right, number 10. So what's your 10th?
So the 10th one is that mental health is super important. And if high school was a breeze for you and you've never struggled with like mental health or issues, then it may be shocking if it hits you in college. And people deal with homesickness, stress, whether it's like school stress, family stress, or personal things going on. So it's okay to talk to someone or take a few mental health days here and there to get yourself together.
Okay. So here's a more personal question for you. What do you typically do to manage your day in college?
So my average day is I wake up, I go to class, I go to work, then I'll probably go back to my room and take a nap. Sometimes I forget to eat because that's another thing. Like, a lot of college students don't eat. So just try to squeeze in a snack, or like if you have food in your room, that's always good. And then I might take a nap and then wake up and then finish the rest of my day, like go to practice or something like that.
Wow. That's fantastic. So you shared with us some great information about college and what some high school students need to know in order to make their college life more fruitful. Is there one thing above all of the things that you said that would stand out as the most important thing?
Well, I think the most important thing to remember about college is that it is a new environment, and you kind of get to reinvent yourself, or not reinvent yourself, but you're starting to build the person that you're going to be for the rest of your life.
Gotcha.
Or strive towards that. So you just want to make sure that you're making good experiences and meeting new people. And the people that you met in high school, if they want to grow with you, then that's great. Because, you always hear things that's like, oh, you're never going to keep your same friends in high school.
Gotcha.
But that's not always true, because
Not
I
nowadays.
have my friends from high school, and we're
social
still,
media and everything else.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of like, if your friends accept the person you're changing into and they're growing with you.
Gotcha. So sounds to me like you're saying one of the most important things to take into consideration when you get into college is that it's a brand new environment, and that you are actually in the process of creating your world. You're laying down the foundation for the things that you're going to be doing possibly for the remainder of your life.
Right. Yes, correct.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing those experiences. I'm sure my listeners are going to value that information, and we'll have more opportunities to hear more about your college experiences so that we can begin the process of helping young teenagers who are in high school make that transition.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.